BGD Diva 2, a high-performance cross-country and competition paraglider from Bruce Goldsmith. How does it perform in the air? Welcome to the Paragliding XC stories. In this story, I'll share my impressions from flying the BGD Diva 2. I took the wing for 2 XC flights in strong, windy alpine conditions, as well as a couple of short flights. The wing size is M, and I loaded it right at the top with 98 kilos. Just a heads up, this isn't a comprehensive review. This video reflects my personal, independent opinion. You'll see these small icons showing what I liked, didn't like, and things that are a bit special or require attention. If you have any questions after watching this video, please feel free to join my Telegram group. You can chat with me and other fellow pilots there. You'll find the link in the video description. Alright, let's jump in. The wing is on the heavy side and it's also pitch damped, so it tends to hand back on inflation even with enough wind. It might also rise asymmetrically. An E&D pilot can definitely handle this, but overall the inflation and takeoff require more attention. I wasn't a huge fan of this behavior, but I could live with it. The risers are simple and functional, so it's easy to sort the lines and get ready for takeoff. The B handles are great. Those bars are really comfortable to hold, even more so than on my Peak 6. However, the speed bar limiter is designed very unfortunately. This strap always gets in the way when you want to grab the B handles quickly. Maybe BGD will improve this later, or you will need to find out a way to sort it out. I spent some time thinking about which icon to use here. I logged about 250 hours under the Nivio Peak 6, which has probably the best handling in the E&D class. So naturally, every other wing I tried seemed not as agile. The Diva 2 has long brakes that are soft for the first 20 cm and gradually get harder when you pull more. The wing reacts a bit slowly and in a smooth way. The brake feel isn't sharp and the wing tends to turn flat and escape a high bank angle. Even so, with a lot of weight shift and by catching the moments when the wing wants to get out early, you can still turn tight. You can even do evasive maneuvers. It just requires a bit more work and a few extra tricks for how you pull the brakes and how you work with weight shifting. To sum up, I would say the handling is something you have to get used to. It wasn't what I was looking for at first, but it isn't bad either. To be fair, many E&D wings are similar in this regard. I would definitely give this wing a thumbs up in terms of comfort. This is without a doubt a highlight. The Diva 2 is a very comfortable glider for its class that's designed to keep you relaxed during 10-hour XC flights. The wing filters out all the shaking and twitching, so you can focus on flight tactics. The wing itself moves quite a bit, but it is not something you have to worry about. As I said, the wing is a bit damped and not very agile, but it stores a lot of energy and can give it back when needed. So, for example, wingovers are a pleasure to fly and you don't really need to pull much of the brakes. Also, dropping the speed bar quickly lets you gain quite some height, which can be helpful when you want to get some advantage on entering thermals. I was really impressed by how honest and understandable the wing acts in turbulence. I always had this feeling that the wing wasn't going to be faster than my reactions. As an E&D, the Diva 2 still requires precise active piloting, but I always felt like I was in control and knew what to expect. In my view, this is one of the wing's strongest points. It's still an E&D and it can be pretty challenging in heavy turbulence. I'm not saying it's easy, but it gives the pilot a realistic feeling of what's going on and you can trust the wing to hold up. BGD has a feature they call progressive stability, which makes the wingtips a bit softer. That lets the glider give you a gradual feedback about the level of turbulence. I especially like this feature. Here I ended up getting into the edge of a bumpy thermal And this is what happened. No big deal, right? Even though the wing moves a lot in turbulence, it still feels really rock solid above your head. There could be small wingtip tucks, but they seem to be very manageable. The only collapse, quote-unquote, I experienced during my 20 hours in strong conditions with the Diva 2 was the one you just saw. Don't get me wrong, there will always be conditions that could cause any wing to collapse, no matter how stable it is and how good the pilot is, but with the Diva's honest behavior, I'm confident those collapses should be manageable. I noticed that the trim speed is quite high. Take a look at this. We are gliding at trim speed with a tailwind. There is a Niviuk Arctic R of similar size in front of me, which is also quite a fast wing. Just to show you what happens next. There is no speed bar, just trim speed. I liked it because, in my opinion, speed means safety in paragliding, but taking off, landing and coring in small thermals do become a bit more challenging. It might be a bit tricky to land the Diva 2 in tight spots especially. It's just so fast and glides so well. I was also impressed by the speed on bar. From what I've seen, the Diva 2 is faster on the speed bar than my Peak 6. The speed bar travel is pretty long, so with my usual harness setting I could only reach about 85%. If you have short legs like me, that might be a bit of a challenge. This is excellent. At trim speed and on bar, this wing is an absolute joy to fly. I would say it glides better than my Peak 6, especially at half bar, which I use a lot. It seems to me that the Diva 2 belongs to the best performing wings in the E&D class. Since the Diva 2 has a fast trim speed, it might seem like climbing in weak and small thermals is difficult. However, I felt that even in weak stuff, I was able to outclimb many other wings. When I'm flying in strong thermals, I like to turn tight and bank over the glider, and it really climbs well in that position too. This is what I especially liked. The B risers are just right for me. They give me great feedback about the angle of attack and what the wingtips are doing. Just right, not too soft, not too hard. This is fantastic. But the best part is the feedback on the brakes. I have never experienced such precise, clear and pronounced feedback on the brakes before. The brake tension changes all the time, so you can really feel the angle of attack, just like with the B risers, and even more where the better lift is. I was really impressed. So if you learn to read and understand this feedback, the Diva 2 will give you a lot of useful information about the air, and you can fly better. I have to give a big thumbs up to the wing designers for this feature. Love it! I haven't pulled any collapses, it would be difficult on a two-liner. I haven't tried stalls and spins, and I haven't pulled big ears or bunny ears. I can't comment on those things just yet, but I'll be doing an SIV course soon and I'll definitely try all of those things then. So, what's my takeaway? I think the BGD Diva 2 is a great high-performance cross-country and competition wing. It offers a well-balanced package of comfortable flying, high speed and a good glide, as well as great feedback on controls in the E&D class. It's not the most agile and it does require a lot of attention when taking off and landing. If you are looking for a high-performance wing for long-distance flights, I'd recommend giving it a try. If you are looking for a more playful handling and finer-grained wing control, this might not be the best fit. But as I mentioned at the beginning, these are just my personal impressions. Your experience might be different, so I'd suggest trying the wing for yourself. Thanks for watching and I hope you found this video useful. Feel free to reach out to me via my socials, you can find the links in the video description. And see you in the next story!